Absolutely. Here's a powerful, emotional, and high impact opening to The Power of 5 a.m. The Daily Habits of Successful People, written in the raw, intense, and passionate style of Eric Thomas, designed to hook your audience from the very first second and convince them to listen to the entire speech. Listen to me closely. If you give me the next few minutes of your life, just a few, I promise you, you won't walk out here the same way you came in. Because this right here, this ain't motivation, this ain't hype, this is transformation. I need you to understand something. Success is not sexy. It's not some highlight reel on Instagram. It's not the cars, the trips, the money. Success is 5 a.m. It's cold, it's dark. It's lonely, it's uncomfortable, but that's where it happens. That's where champions are made, while the world is still asleep, while they're dreaming, wishing, hoping, the greats, they're grinding. They're building, they're winning in silence. You see, you want what they got, but you don't want to do what they do. You want to be successful, but you don't want to sacrifice your comfort. You want the spotlight, but you don't want the solitude. But let me be real with you, success demands solitude. It demands early mornings, hard choices, and relentless discipline. Some of you keep waiting for the perfect moment. You waiting for motivation to hit you like a wave. Let me help you, it ain't coming. You don't find motivation. You build momentum, and it starts every single day. At 5 a.m., I ain't say. In 5 a.m. is some magic time. What I'm saying is, you gotta beat the sun. You gotta move before the world moves, so when the world starts spinning, you're not playing catch-up, you're in control. So here's my challenge. Don't just listen to this message. Lean into it, lock in. Don't check your phone. Don't let your doubts whisper louder than your dreams, because what I'm about to share with you, it might just be the difference between where you are and where you're supposed to be. If you hungry, if you tired of being average, if you done with excuses, then this message right here, this is your wake-up call. Let's go. Let's talk about the power of 5 a.m. and why the people you admire, they ain't special, they just made a decision before the sun came up. You want to win, you want to dominate, then you can't keep waking up when the rest of the world does. You gotta beat them to the punch. Success don't come to the person who shows up on time. It comes to the one who shows up early, the one who shows up prepared, the one who shows up hungry before the alarm even goes off. That's the power of 5 a.m. See, when I say 5 a.m., I'm not just talking about a time on the clock. I'm talking about a mindset. I'm talking about owning your life, your decisions, your direction. Because when the rest of the world is still sleeping, dreaming, laying in that warm bed, that's when the great ones are up, already in the zone, already working on their vision. They're not waiting for motivation. They're not waiting for the perfect weather. They're not waiting for someone to text them, let's go. No, they're up, they're locked in, and they're moving because they made a commitment to win. You want a better life. You want success. Then you better understand this. The person who controls the morning controls the day. And the person who controls the day controls their future. You keep snoozing through opportunity and then asking why nothing's changing. The difference between the one who has and the one who wants is this. One of them made the decision to start when nobody else would. And that decision starts at 5 a.m. Let me break this down. 5 a.m. is not convenient. It ain't glamorous. There's no claps, no applause, no audience at 5 a.m. It's just you, your discipline, and your dreams. That's it. It's quiet. It's dark. It's cold. And you got every reason to stay in bed. But that's exactly why it works. Because most people won't do it. Most people won't push past the discomfort. And that's where the gap gets created. Everybody wants to be successful until they realize what it costs. But that early wake-up, that grind while the world is still sleeping, that's part of the price. That's what separates the committed from the convenient. You don't just get what you want. You get what you're willing to suffer for, rise early for, sacrifice for. Every morning you wake up at 5 a.m., you send a message to the universe. I'm not here to participate, I'm here to dominate. Every rep in the gym, every chapter you read, every journal entry, every goal you write down, it adds up. And guess what? You just bought yourself more focus, more clarity, more momentum. And now, while everybody else is just rolling out of bed, you already stacked wins. You already took control. You want confidence. Stop looking for it in other people's approval. Start earning it by doing what most people won't do. Start earning it by getting up at 5 a.m. and proving to yourself that you mean business. When you wake up that early, you're not just chasing dreams. You're hunting them. You're not surviving the day. You're setting the tone for it. That early discipline creates energy. It builds strength. And that momentum becomes unstoppable. Now listen, I know it ain't easy. I know some of you got work, kids, life pulling on you from every direction. But let me tell you something. Your dreams don't care about your excuses. Your goals don't get delayed because life got busy. You either find a way or you make peace with being average. That's the reality. Some of you have been waiting for life to slow down, waiting for the right time. That time is never coming. But 5 a.m., it's always there. It's waiting for you. It's offering you an invitation to rise, to grow, to separate. And the ones who say yes day after day, week after week, they're the ones who win. You don't need more hours in the day. You just need to use the ones you got with more power, more purpose, and more precision. And it all starts when the rest of the world is still dreaming. While they sleep, you grind. While they doubt, you believe. While they hesitate, you execute. That's how you win. You know what separates the ones who dream from the ones who live the dream. Discipline, that's it. Not talent, not money, not luck. It's discipline. And listen to me, discipline ain't pretty. It ain't exciting. It ain't that Instagram post with a cute quote and a filter. Discipline is ugly. It's raw. It's that 5 a.m. alarm when your body's screaming to stay in bed. It's saying no to distractions when your mind is begging for comfort. It's showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. See, the problem with most people is they think success is about how they feel. They think they gotta be motivated to move. Let me help you. Motivation is a liar. Motivation comes and goes. 1 minute it's hyping you up. The next minute it's gone and you're back to the same cycle of excuses. But discipline don't care how you feel. Discipline says, I made a decision and I'm gonna honor that decision no matter what. And if you're serious about winning, you gotta build habits, not hype. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your systems. So when you wake up at 5 a.m., you don't sit there waiting for inspiration. You already got a plan. You already know what you're attacking. You already know the moves you gotta make. The gym, the journal, the prayer, the reading, the cold shower, the walk, the silence, whatever it is for you, you stack those habits like bricks until you've built a foundation that nothing can shake. You want to be successful, but your life is built on random. You move when you feel good. You grind when it's convenient. You work hard until it gets uncomfortable. But listen to me, success lives in repetition. It lives in the boring. It lives in that place where most people give up because they didn't see the results fast enough. You don't need another miracle. You need a routine. You don't need a break. You need better habits. Discipline is doing the right thing when no one's clapping, no one's watching, no one's validating you. But you still do it because you said you would. You still do it because that's who you are now. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for applause. You don't wait for the mood to be right. You act like it's already done. You move like the victory's already yours. That's what the great ones do. They don't need to feel like it. They just get it done. Some of y'all want to change your life, but you won't change your daily habits. You keep trying to cheat the grind. You keep trying to shortcut the process. But there's no shortcut to discipline. It's reps, it's pressure, it's pain, and it's showing up every single day when average would have quit. Every time you do what you said you would do, you build integrity with yourself. You build trust, and that's how confidence is born. You want peace in your life, build structure. You want results, build discipline. You want freedom, build consistency. The ones you see winning didn't get lucky, they got serious. They stopped negotiating with themselves. They stopped taking days off from their destiny. They built a system that forced greatness out of them. And that's what I need you to do. Wake up with purpose. Move with intention. Make discipline your identity, not your option. You don't go to the gym when it's easy. You go because you're the kind of person who doesn't skip. You don't eat clean when you're in the mood. You eat clean because you're the kind of person who honors the vision. That's the difference. It's not about willpower. It's about identity. Who are you when nobody's watching? That's who you really are. And if you're not proud of that person, then it's time to rewire. It's time to decide. No more random, no more lazy, no more comfort. From now on, you live by design, by discipline, by decision. And that's where success starts to chase you. You build it daily, brick by brick, habit by habit. You win the morning, you win the day. You win the day, you win the year. And you win the year, you win the life. You ever notice how loud the world is? It's constant. The noise never stops. Social media buzzing, texts, emails, deadlines, opinions, distractions. Everybody pulling at you from every direction. And in all that chaos, you start losing pieces of yourself. Your clarity fades. Your purpose gets blurry. You start reacting instead of leading. You start existing instead of living. That's why 5 a.m. is so powerful, because it gives you silence. And silence, that's where clarity is born. Most people wake up straight into chaos. Alarm goes off, and boom, they're already behind, rushing, scrolling, checking in with the world before they've even checked in with themselves. That's how you stay lost. That's how you stay disconnected from your mission. But when you wake up at 5 a.m., before the world starts screaming at you, before the pressure kicks in, you give yourself space to think. Space to breathe. Space to hear the voice inside that's been buried under noise. You can't lead a life you're not present for. And you can't be present if your mind's cluttered with everybody else's agenda. That early morning silence, that's your reset. That's where you process the vision. That's where you ask the hard questions. That's where you align your actions with your purpose. That silence is not emptiness. It's your blueprint. It's your compass. It's where you get grounded before you start moving. Most people don't even know what they're chasing. They're busy every day, but they ain't going nowhere because they never took time to stop and listen. Never took time to think. Never gave themselves permission to pause. That's what the greats do differently. They don't just work harder. They think deeper. They're intentional, and that intentionality is built in silence. Some of you are overwhelmed, not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing the wrong things. You're spinning your wheels on things that don't even align with your purpose. And you would know that if you got still. If you sat in the quiet long enough to recognize the difference between movement and progress. That's what the early morning gives you. It reveals what matters. It clears the fog. It silences the doubt. It brings you back to what you were born to do. In silence, you remember who you are. You're not just some job title. You're not just someone chasing a check. You're a warrior with a purpose. You're a leader with a legacy. And you need that time before the world wakes up to lock in on that identity, to armor up mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You gotta win that internal battle before you step into the external one. This is where you start separating yourself, not in the loud moments, but in the quiet ones. The silence builds power, Because when you come out of that silence, you're not guessing, you're not scattered. You're sharp, you're focused, you're ready. That's how you dominate the day. By owning the morning and protecting your mental space like it's sacred, because it is. You let too many people rent space in your head for free. Their opinions, their doubts, their expectations, and it's clouding your direction. But when you create that space at 5 a.m., just you, your thoughts, your God, your goals, everything starts to align. You start moving with precision. You're not chasing trends, you're walking in truth. You don't need more time, you need more clarity. You don't need more noise, you need more awareness. And awareness only comes from stillness. It comes from being honest with yourself. From shutting off the world long enough to hear your own voice. The voice that tells you what needs to go, what needs to grow, what needs to be forgiven, what needs to be built. And I get it. It's uncomfortable. It's easier to stay distracted, easier to stay busy, but busy isn't better. Clarity is better. Vision is better. Direction is better. So you have to protect your morning like your life depends on it. Because it does. That silence is the difference between wandering and winning, between drifting and driving. Don't let the world tell you who you are before you decide. Don't hand over your peace to people who don't even know your purpose. Get up early, get quiet, get centered, and then go make noise that matters. Because when you win the war within, no battle outside can break you. You ever feel like you're stuck in neutral? Like no matter how hard you try, your days just blur together, one after another, like you're grinding but not gaining. That's because you keep waiting for momentum to show up. You think it's something that just happens, like one morning you're gonna wake up and feel on fire. But let me tell you the truth, momentum is not found, it's built, and the ones who win, they build it early. They stack wins before the world even knows they're awake. You can't wait until noon to decide to be great. You can't roll out of bed at 10, move slow, scroll your phone, and then try to flip the switch like a light. It doesn't work like that. Greatness has a rhythm, and it starts early. It starts with that first decision you make when the alarm hits. Do you rise or do you roll over? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. That one choice, that small win, sets the tone. You choose to win that moment and suddenly you're in motion. And here's what you don't see. Those small decisions at 5 a.m., they compound. That workout you didn't skip, that's a win. That water you drank instead of soda, win. That time you opened a book instead of scrolling through your feed, another win, and those wins stack. They build belief. They build energy. By the time most people are wiping the sleep out of their eyes, you already got 2 or 3 victories under your belt. And that ain't ego, that's execution. You keep asking for confidence, but you're not building anything to be confident about. You keep waiting for your season to come, not realizing that the season is shaped by the seeds you plant in the early hours. You think the greats got lucky. No, they got deliberate. They woke up and made a choice. I'm going to create momentum today, and I'm going to do it before the sun rises. Momentum don't come from motivation. It comes from movement. It comes from doing the hard things first. That 5 a.m. hour, it ain't for show, it's for setup. You use that time to get your mind right, your body right, your spirit aligned. You walk into your day having already done what most people won't, and you carry that fire into everything else you touch. Some of you are starting your day behind. You hitting snooze 3 times, dragging yourself through the morning, showing up late, already stressed, already in survival mode. And then you wonder why you feel stuck. It's not your talent, it's not your potential, it's your lack of rhythm. You need flow, you need fire, and you build that by taking control of the first hour, not reacting, creating. You see, momentum ain't loud. It starts quiet, it starts slow. But when you keep showing up, when you keep stacking, it grows, and eventually, it takes over. You start seeing changes in your body, in your energy, in your attitude. You start walking different, thinking sharper, executing cleaner. You stop hesitating and start deciding. That's when you know momentum is working for you. That's when it's no longer about hype, it's about habit. And look, I know it's hard. I know some mornings you're tired. Some mornings you don't feel it. That's okay. You don't need to feel it. You just need to move, because the motion will create the feeling. Every day you show up anyway, even when it's hard. That's a win, and those wins, they turn into waves. Waves of energy, waves of progress, waves of belief. And before you know it, you're riding a momentum that nobody can knock you off of. You're not behind. You just haven't started early enough. You're not weak. You just haven't tapped into your rhythm yet. And the rhythm starts when the distractions are still asleep, when the sun's not even out yet. When it's just you, your hunger, and your vision. That's the birthplace of every break, through your praying for. So from now on, don't wait to catch momentum. Build it. Get up. Show up. Stack those wins when nobody's watching. And by the time the world opens its eyes, you already set it on fire. That's how you separate. That's how you rise. That's how you win.